Good with it.
What's
PaperWork
dope with it?
podcast, man. Dopest podcast cooking. You know what I'm saying? We in here today. BFD sitting here with us. And go ahead and do the thing.
Oh yeah, man. We got Bundy in the building, man. It's dope flavors. You know, I know you heard it
Dope
before, man. It's
flavors.
the flavor to savor. This shit'll turn a hater to a player and a sip to a pimp. You know what I'm talking about?
Word.
You gotta come get high with me and get your fly degree. You know what I'm talking about?
What I'm talking
Straight
about.
up.
Uh-oh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Turn that down.
Yeah, man. You know, we're just here live, man. We're gonna just chop it up with y'all. Know what I mean? Yo, but let's start with, please. What's the newest drops for dope flavors?
Yes, sir. So we just ended up on tour. We're wrapping up our summer tour. We were just at the State Fair in July in Sacramento for 3 weeks, selling that pink slime over there. And then from then we went to San Francisco. We was at Outside Lands Grasslands for that 3 day festival over there at Golden Gate Park. And we
That
was
was
doing
not
our
the Carnival or whatever.
No, no, no.
That wasn't it.
No, Carnival was a couple years back. First
Gotcha.
time they had a cannabis garden up in there. And shout out to the Legacy Market. Shout out to the Equity Trade Network, which is a collective of social equity operators, brands,
Right.
and business owners throughout the statewide. So shout out to them. Shout out our partners over there at Seventh Wave out of Humboldt. And
Yeah.
shout out to Seek Local Solutions as well, who's our partners. And yeah, man, we just
Shout out to the
ended.
team, man.
Yeah, we just ended
Ended
our
a good
tour.
move.
Yeah, and then what we got going on right now is we got new drops. We got Designer Lungs and Cherry Slime coming out.
Yeah, and shout out to you for these dope hats.
Oh yeah,
Whoa.
for sure.
Dope
The
flavor
merch
hats.
go crazy.
Merch go
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
you could go dopeflavorstore.com, get merchandise right there, but it's best if you get the exclusive stuff. Come see us at our pop-ups.
Right.
Wherever we go, with just like I said, the State Fair. We were at Grasslands, at Outside Lands.
They were
Come
at
see
Joe
us
Bob's Comedy Trap House.
Joe Bob's
Right.
Comedy Trap House. Come see, get the exclusive merch there. But we got Designer Lungs and we got Cherry Slime coming
Designer
around.
Lungs is a dope ass.
We gonna be dropping that around Thanksgiving. So definitely you want to get that bud, you want to get that good high on before you get your
Yeah.
grub on for
Well,
Thanksgiving.
yeah.
So you definitely want to.
That
wanna
walk with
grab
your
that.
cousins. That walk with your cousins. Even if you grown, you still go take a lot.
Bro, how
Yes,
real is
sir.
that?
Yes,
Tell me,
sir.
everybody didn't come out. I know he was gone for a while, but everybody didn't come up in the house. Where, like, you know, you and your cousins, especially if you smoke, you're like, yeah, we've been to go out front or whatever. Get the fuck out of there and
We
blow.
can go
Yeah.
Everybody free to
in the
roll.
block real quick.
Thanksgiving, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's real true. I did that.
Me too.
Yeah, hell
Hey, I
yeah.
just want to tell y'all right now, my cock's long. He wanted to shout out,
He made-
so I just want to let y'all know
Well,
my
that's-
cock's long.
He made you read it again?
That's a fun fact.
No, I'm just
He
saying
jumped,
my,
yeah.
my cock's long. But
Uh,
shout out to Mike.
Hey, but the first time he read that though, he wasn't paying attention. He's like, "Oh yeah, my cock's on. Yeah, we'll get right on it." I was like, "What? What did he make you read? What didn't you read thoroughly, real quick?"
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
that's funny.
Yeah. So
Hawks long. Nice.
so
Good one,
just to
yeah.
reiterate, how dope flavors came about when you touched down, homie. What was the purpose of dope flavors when you touched down?
Shit,
Dude,
really,
we
I went down for a week case along with other
Oh yeah,
charges.
that's right.
And
Other charges.
other charges.
Me and him were roommates
Yep.
at junior
We
college.
just become best friends.
But yeah, no, it was, I felt like, especially other people in my shoes, we were entrepreneurs, before our time, before
Make it.
things went legal.
Sick.
And, we deserve some type of foothold or some type of, place in the industry,
Right.
which is right now compared, the cannabis industry is also compared to like tobacco, alcohol,
Right.
and young entrepreneurs or persons of color formerly incarcerated, especially the formerly incarcerated that went down for cannabis charges.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're entrepreneurs before our time, and we need that spot, we need that foothold, we need that place at the table, especially alongside corporate.
Right.
So, I just made that my kind of like, I had a passion for cannabis, always pretty much had a bundle since I was a teenager.
Yep.
And it's like, you know what? I'm good at this. I'm good at
You
sales.
leaped that bound.
Yeah. And, I love cannabis, and it's like, you know what? Why not? I should do this legally as well. I should have
Yeah.
this type of, opportunity, this type of pathway. So I pretty much just learned the game. I went to Oxfordam. I learned the game from
Right.
business perspective. And it's like, you know what? I could do this.
Right.
And if I have the capability of doing it, then I could accomplish something and then show others how to do it as
Yeah.
well behind me, especially my folks and my people.
That's the
So
American dream, boy.
that's I mean, pretty much.
Shit.
And then you know what? It just kept rolling. I just never gave up.
Yeah.
Like I didn't quit. There was a whole bunch of barriers and
Right.
adversities that went with that.
Right.
And pretty much we founded it in 2021. And then
Okay.
from there, we just kept rolling, and we're still here today.
But
We're
you've been putting your foot in it since you got home, right? You
Oh
got
yeah, for
out,
sure.
and then so now you are a felon that's got out, that's trying to get in this fucking industry and
Mhm.
did it.
Yeah.
And now they made it hella harder for everybody to get in.
Mm-hmm.
You got your foot in, I guess, probably right on time, because it's harder now to even get involved with,
It
how it's
is.
moving now.
It is.
And you're networking with all these other people. Thank
Mhm.
goodness, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's going to keep on moving to what
Timing.
it's supposed to.
Yeah.
It's timing,
It
brother.
is.
What
Right.
got me out of prison now,
Right,
brother,
right.
is easily accessible for
Right.
everybody. People are still fighting the same thing.
Right.
It's all about being able to jump, put your foot on the gas, and being willing to risk it all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh man, that's why I love hearing that story, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah, that's a hell of a success.
Hell yeah.
And it's like just taking that initiative and just showing people the game. I got to go through the trials and tribulations, triumphs and losses,
Right.
but people could learn from that
Sure.
and do better than me, hopefully
Yeah.
later on down the
Right.
line. And it's all just about, just having open arms to like-minded
Yeah.
individuals,
Right.
solid individuals, and
Right.
just, collaboration instead of, competing with your folks.
Yeah.
All the
Man.
product, too, any piece of product I've tasted all this time, it's
Mhm.
fire.
Yeah.
I haven't let down
Very
yet.
good
I ain't never
looking,
been some
good
shit you
looking.
be like, it's kind of cool. And I'm stupid picky. I'm a pot snob.
Yeah.
And shout out to your roller dude. Who was you? Remember that
Oh, the
roller?
roller,
when
yeah.
that roller
Oh,
we
yeah.
we were at
He's
that.
putting it
Yeah,
together,
Summer
boy.
Bash last
Oakland?
year.
Yeah.
He's
So
putting-
He was rolling a whole bunch of
Securities out
worms,
front
whole
street.
bunch of donuts, bro. Yeah, he
He
was.
fire.
what he did that in less than 30 seconds. He rolled. He
Mhm.
had a pre-roll rolled in 30
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah, go
That was
check
dope.
out I
You're
believe
like,
it was on the No
"Fucking this
Paperwork
is
podcast shorts. Yeah,
Right.
he had them on the shorts. Go
Yeah.
check that out. Yeah, subscribe. No Paperwork podcast. Yeah, you'll definitely
Yeah.
check that out for sure.
We use some dope flavors, man. We do.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I love that's what big thing I love about doing this kind of stuff. We get to promote people who stepped outside of the norm. You know what I'm saying?
Success stories.
Yeah, in spite of all the
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah.
happening,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then even if for some parts of the world look like a small jump, it's giant.
Mhm.
If nobody's done it yet, and you know what I'm saying? Like, so there's giant moves happening around y'all.
The way
Oh,
I
Megan.
feel, if you got the capability, like do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have a responsibility to do it
Right.
because who else is going to do it? Especially in our circles, especially amongst our people.
Right.
And if you're successful, you got a good backing behind you, and you got some type of,
Right.
you got a good push, then
Yeah.
you
Who
could
know what
you could
that-
definitely teach others. You could definitely influence others
Yeah,
at
for
the
real.
same time.
Let's say an old Indian saying, you try maybe, you no try, no maybe.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
That's as real as shit.
For real.
But yeah, and to for us, like we've been tapped in from the beginning,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for
Since No Paperwork podcast and Dope Flavors.
First spot.
You've been here
For
since
sure.
the beginning of our journey, man, and you've grown with us. You know what I mean?
appreciate y'all,
And,
for sure.
now we appreciate you too, man. Everything you've done. Every time you invite us, you know what I mean. We always, and that's the thing with us, man. We always trying to look out for each other. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's with us in the music game as homies, right? We all try to look out for each other. Nobody's bigger than the other man. No one's littler than the other man. But we all trying to push and we all have a common goal, man. And if we could all eat together, and then why not? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's probably the biggest thing for me, man, is being able not to eat off of someone, but to eat with someone. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I'm on, yeah.
Like,
Or instead of showing
Yeah.
them you got money, show them how to get it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
And
I
that's
actually hate eating alone. It's like there's two kind of motherfuckers. People that don't mind eating alone, people that don't prefer it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I like pushing community like that,
Yeah.
where everybody could feed and everybody could learn off of each other because that's, especially amongst our circle is small.
Hell
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how we survive, that's how we strive, and that's how we get better and advance together. And that's the best way.
Right.
But it's a small circle of like-minded individuals that
Yeah.
that are going after what they want. You know what I mean? They're going after it, and as long as we help each other, as long as we push each other, there's no stopping us.
Well,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
you're always
So-
gonna have a foot above if there's people willing to take the fight and the journey with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like you already got upper hand now.
Because I'll tell you right now, it's hard
Well,
by
network
yourself,
come in.
especially in the cannabis industry.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't do it by yourself.
That's why you're like,
like,
corporate.
in any
Yeah,
industry,
that's
bro.
network.
Right.
In
support.
music,
Mhm.
in clothes,
Yeah.
in cannabis,
Yeah.
it's
For
all
sure.
it's all fucking hard, bro. You need
Yeah.
a team.
Right,
You do
because
need
that's
to.
why we want you to win. Because if you win, we win.
Straight
You
up.
know what I mean?
And if we win, you win.
you win. Either way, like you got a circle of people that are pushing their own shit, but we're all pushing each other at the same time.
No Diddy.
How could you not win? I ain't put it like that, but
yeah,
you know what I
he
mean?
brought up the
we-
Diddy, man. He brought up the Diddy, man.
What?
Yeah.
I'm too pale to use baby oil. You know?
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, bro. When I was shaving my arm for my tattoo earlier, I was like, white people do need lotion, bro. It was coming up like gunpowder, bro, from the 1860s.
Shaving off hell skin.
Yeah. Like, damn, I'm
Feeling
ashy.
like Francis Gaines or Michael Phelps.
Shout out
Liking
to
it,
Trash for
yeah.
my tattoos, though, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we went in today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
Yes.
we went in. We ain't done either.
Yeah, we ain't done. We did the long live Sevy. Shout out Sevy one more time, man.
Yeah,
Very
rest in
nice.
peace, Thorn
I'm
Boy,
next.
yeah.
I'm next. I got some space on me too.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Let's get in there, man.
Oh yeah.
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 So speaking about Diddy, man.
Yeah.
Man, what's going on with that dude, man? I know we
Man,
want to talk about
everything.
that.
I ain't gonna lie, so I'm like, look, I'm on both sides of the fence with this.
Whoa.
I like
with
that.
what?
But I mean, I know Diddy, the whole Diddy thing is a distraction. Like I watch news, I watch all that stuff.
Well, I mean, it
I
might
know
be
what it is.
distracting to know them facts, but it seemed like them was a little facty.
No, for sure. I don't doubt none of that. They've been
He
saying
probably
it.
humping dudes type of area.
No, he's for sure humping dudes.
Right.
But that's not the problem. That's not the issue.
Right.
You want to hump dudes all you want. Like
And
that's your
kids,
business.
I mean, I'm just
Don't-
saying, there's a
yeah,
bunch
just
of go to.
don't
I'm
talk
just
to
saying,
me.
we'll start where
But-
it's easier.
what I'm saying-
We'll
Don't
start
talk to
where the
me.
meat's easier to swallow for you. You know what I'm saying? Then we'll feed you the rest of the shit. Like, yeah, nah.
Well, I'm saying there's
Group
hella other
all
stuff
that.
happening in the world, happening in the United
Sure.
States, and this is the distraction.
Shit, they saying some satellite can see some shit coming.
Yeah.
Well, look here.
Oh boy.
Here's my take on it. Right. I understand that he's probably done some fucked up shit, right?
Mhm.
But they let it go on for this long, and all of a sudden it's coming out, right? It's like he's a scapegoat for a bigger play,
Bro,
right?
look, it's not.
I mean, if you working with the feds, they for sure gonna let it happen.
it's not all. It's
Allegedly.
not all of a sudden.
Allegedly.
These motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Listen,
it's the whole industry
they were
for
talking about
eons. They
his whole
sickos.
team from the record label he used to work at had heart attacks. Everybody had heart attacks
Or
except
like a
him.
Noma or
Right.
something,
No,
whatever
no, it
the
was
fuck shit.
there was heart attacks, right? Heavy D died, right? Kim Porter had a heart attack and survived,
Well,
Right.
right?
the
Everybody
recession.
around this fool was dying,
Right.
right? And just not him,
Right.
right? So, first of all, these are all allegations.
Right.
Who knows what the fuck?
Who knows?
Right.
But yeah.
But just the story behind it, and then, but what tripped me out, what was crazy was that dude, Jonathan Oddie.
Right.
Did you watch that interview?
I did.
No.
I watched that briefly.
So white dude shoots up Trump Tower in 2018, goes in for an interview,
Right.
right? And
Yeah.
and when he's in the interview,
He starts talking about
he
Diddy.
starts talking about some crazy stuff that
He
Diddy
knows
supposedly did,
Right.
right? And hired him for,
Right.
right?
He said he was Diddy's like basic fuck toy.
Oh no, I know. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. My bad. Yeah.
His
Got
name is
the
Jonathan
dope form,
Oddie.
everything,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's Manny.
yeah.
Dude,
No,
that's
I
it's
didn't-
whack.
yeah,
It's some
yeah,
enemy
yeah.
move, negative fuckery.
So he says all kinds of stuff about Diddy, right? And it's like if you like the interview itself, he said some crazy stuff in there.
Right.
He might low key be a J cat,
Right.
right? But
Low key.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Right,
Yeah.
but if he wasn't lying about that though,
Lying.
right?
You said-
Right.
If he wasn't lying about that, bro, some of that other stuff might be, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know what it reminds me of? Like,
Yeah, the Bieber shit
especially-
was-
especially the Diddy stuff, you know, and Austin Powers, where the chick at with Dr. Evil at the table was like, bring in that guy, or bring in the nuke, or bring in the bring in Diddy.
Right.
Bring in this, bring in that. Like it's a stage, and it could be a distraction for. I mean, look what's going on right now. You got the presidential election.
Right.
You know, somebody's either winning or losing, or you know.
You got Israel bombing the shit out
Yeah.
of Gaza.
I mean, like all of
Yeah.
a sudden you have
Israel?
our
Are those the
president.
Uh,
You have our
Those
president.
are the Jews.
Not even our president
Those are
really
the
no
Jews.
more. Now it's all
Yeah,
focused
right.
on Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so it's like, all right.
shit.
So she's contending with Trump, and if one side is better than the other, and you don't want to see, say, for example, hypothetically, is Kamala that's not doing so great. You know, obviously that's like the main media, or you know, the favorite. If the favorite ain't doing so great, then you need a distraction from that
Right.
because it's not
I
going
mean, I'm
the
not. I don't
way.
know if I completely.
So who do you-
I get why shit.
Yeah.
I know the moves how they be moving, but
The Jews are
and
bombing people.
the Jews about people.
Weird, huh?
The Palestinians, what's happening over there?
But my point is, you got to bring a distraction if it
Yeah.
ain't going your
For
way,
sure.
or if it ain't going to the grain, or if it ain't, for the status
It looked
quo.
like there's really some bad news behind the scenes fuckery on children and drugged folk and,
Right.
and some fuckboy shit
Mm.
with dudes and shit that are powerful. And it seemed like we've been hearing about this for 20 years.
Well, Cat
At
Williams
least. I'm
spoke
just
about
saying,
it.
like, for real,
right?
people been saying whack shit going on back there, and you gotta like accept this, whatever that happened to you, to get a role in a movie, and there's all kind of whack shit with people with power in Hollywood and music industry for some weird reason.
Yeah.
On Club Shay Shay, what's his name?
Oh,
Cat
yeah.
Williams was talking about it, and he said
Oh.
2024 is going to
You
be
gonna
the
see,
year
but yeah.
when it all comes out.
Yeah.
And
He wasn't wrong.
God damn, if he ain't a prophet, you know what I'm saying? Like
But look
that
what
fool.
happened to Club Shay Shay. Oh boy, all of a sudden got caught on live,
Well,
fucking his girl,
Yeah, but
Right.
and
they've
he
been
got
saying
fired. Well, he didn't
Yeah.
get fired. They wanted to fire him,
ESPN, all kind of
and
shit.
then they were trying to. I guess it looked like they were trying to cancel him real quick,
Yep.
just
Right.
because he was kind of bringing people on his
People
platform.
don't want to come on his show no more.
I
Yeah,
think you did a
Right.
nice shit because
So-
they've been ribbing him for years. Like,
all this ain't
All,
coincidence.
all the
They been saying he's
CEOs,
gay, though, the way he be
all the
dressing on
CEOs
type,
from all the
the-
major,
they've been teasing him a little bit. That's why I think he did it.
all the CEOs from all the major music companies.
Right.
Sickos.
They
Left.
resigned. Yeah. Anybody that had anything to do with Diddy resigned.
Hold on, man. The Jews bombing people?
Last time bombs at, they making
Oh,
IEDs
listen.
and
No,
shit.
man. Last time I heard about the best Jewish cook, it was Hitler in 1944.
Bro.
I heard they invented the ashtray in the Mercedes Benz. Okay, look, I'm done. I'm done.
I
I
think
was
the IED stopped shit
I
from
was
getting
itching to
pregnant.
say it,
That's
man.
what
Can
you know,
can we bleep that shit? Hey, don't mess with
Don't
the
say
Jews,
something about
man.
women.
All right, there's
There you
manners
go.
and gays. We're gonna get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get it.
1944.
Hey.
Oh shit.
Shalom, man. I love
Shalom,
you.
straight up, yeah. They're all
But-
Jewish
but-
homies.
So,
Yeah.
trying to
Jews,
whoop
they
me
don't
on
even
that
want
Jewish
to
piano
hold
there.
I'm done.
All right,
I'm sorry.
but
We're
yeah,
not
but
getting
yeah.
canceled for that, are we?
Yeah, probably.
We are?
Yeah,
I don't even know no Jewish people. Well, I was smoking your shit the other day,
I didn't even hear you.
and and I was like, "You are Indians from like Northern California? Are they just some like mountain Mexicans?" Man, that's how stoned I was.
Indians from Northern California?
That's just
Like
mountain
natives?
Mexicans. Yeah, like natives way up here and shit.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Mike said he's a Jewish homeboy.
Like,
Shout out to the
Jews,
homies.
Shout out to Jones.
Hey, shout out Shalom.
you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Shout out to Christian homies. Shout out to Muslim homies.
Hey, don't worry about Joe
Yeah.
Bob. He's just high. That's his excuse, man. He's high.
This guy has
But yeah,
some
we'll say trying to charge Diddy for Tupac death too, because of Keefe D.
Bro, see?
Yeah.
Bro, and then, look, I seen that video of
He gave up
Tupac
half the money.
when he was 16 in high school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I seen the video of Biggie snuggling up, nestling Puffy,
Oh,
like rubbing his face in his neck.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's not something that
That's-
like nobody made that up. Nobody
Right.
made them dudes do that. I know what I was doing at 16.
right.
I'm from damn near the same era as
Bro,
Tupac.
I cut
Right.
my
Hold on,
tongue
I'm
out
from the
and
same
everything.
damn near the same era as Tupac, right?
Right.
And motherfuckers wasn't acting like that, homie. It wasn't acting like that.
Nah.
And I'll tell you, I've been telling him that I wasn't a huge fan of Tupac. When everybody liked
Yeah,
Tupac, I
me
like
neither.
Nas, right? And Tupac transformed. He banged hella hoods, right? He banged hella cities,
Right.
right? He got that transformer capability. Like that's gonna hurt a real motherfucker's heart.
Right.
Like I'm from where I was raised.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As soon as you say you from here, that means you're just willing to just change everything
Right.
about yourself.
Well, I'm over here now.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I mean, and you can't deny that. You ain't lying about that. But
Well, he was an actor, right?
right.
Well,
What's-
but
what's-
regardless, hold on, back
I
to what
chalk-
off
I
the
chalk-
Diddy
I
thing
chalk
and
Tupac's-
Biggie nested up the
Tupac
next.
when he went to
I said the same shit about Drake. You like 17 or some shit on your partner's lap, like, hey, nobody does that. Nobody I know, not at 7. Yeah, but the last time you had some family make you sit on the couch together, other than that, 17, sit on my lap, take a picture. Who?
No, never.
We might fuck you up for asking, mom, or whoever the fuck said that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shit.
No, but right. So I mean, no one's doubting that the industry been weird for how long, right?
Weird. They're
You
weird
get
over
you
there.
get money and power, not you,
Yeah.
but anybody, motherfuckers who can't handle power, get that money, get that power, they get bored, they don't know what to do with it, they go a little bit of crazy. you know what I mean? I've seen it with people that, they win lawsuits and they get a little bit of money, $200,000-$300,000, and they go crazy
Yeah.
But
thinking that they're the
if you've
shit.
been hearing if you've been hearing the same stuff for the last almost 3 decades from
Man.
different people,
Yeah.
No.
It's
you
probably
know,
something
There's
to it.
smoke.
there's something, you know what
Yeah,
I'm
where there's
saying?
smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
just gonna let y'all know right now. We don't listen to Tupac in my house because he got charged.
He got a rape
And,
charge.
Yeah, but
That's
his
state
charge
charge, my
wasn't
bad.
for being in. He didn't get charged for raping her. He got charged for
Like not telling
accessory
of
for
it,
not telling that
basically,
they
and he
that
didn't
that.
do
Oh,
it
really?
anyway.
Yeah.
For real.
If you read the charges, he didn't get charged for raping her. She even said she didn't. Actually, she was sucking his dick on the dance floor before that.
before that,
There was
yeah,
no
first- yeah,
reason.
straight
But
up
if
butt,
you
yeah,
read
baby.
the charges, he didn't get charged
Those are
for.
facts.
He got charged for allowing it to
There you
happen.
go.
Bro,
He
that
was
don't- you
he
know
was
me.
he was asleep on
I
the
won't
couch.
listen to your music no more neither if you're weird now. The only exception, I listen to Mess, and I know Messy all fucked up, but I fuck with Mess music though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
But
See,
Mess
but being a
doesn't
dope
have-
fiend, he doesn't have
Yeah.
no funny charges. He's
Yeah,
not a
true
rat.
that, true that.
He's
Yeah.
just a dope fiend.
He goes
Yeah.
DP, right?
Right.
Right. Mess is not, as far as I know, Mess hasn't had any weird charges.
hell
no.
He's
Yeah, no.
he's just
That would
spun out.
crush me.
But you
I give
can't
up on the industry.
just because he spun out, you can't take away from his talent and his music from before. Now, if he
Right.
did some whack charges, then
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Look at Dre Dog.
oh yeah,
Right? Dre Dog been a crackhead. He
Yeah.
been
Dre-
rapping about
Dre-
that.
I hope-
Smoke
I
Tree
hope
like a
Messi- I hope
motherfucking
Messi
nut.
bounces back though, man. I hope Messi bounces back.
I hope Mess
Yeah,
bounces
yeah,
back
yeah,
too.
man.
Might have lost a
That-
little
he
bit
was
For real, yeah.
My
What?
favorite, man. He
I was over there, man. I remember sitting on my bunk. I was like,
Yeah.
well, this is my song.
Bro, I told you guys about this before. I was in prison in High Desert slapping Mess, and some Bay Cats was like, man, we don't even mess with dude. Like, there ain't no bloods where he from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was
Right.
like, damn, that just like fucked me up a little bit. I was like,
Right,
Well, yeah.
right there. But
Yeah.
you know, Juice was down the street over there doing. He got his Oak Park connection. Juice kind of blood with all them cats.
Yeah.
And whatever. Like,
But
regardless of how people can do what they do, I ain't never heard nobody put no gangster bars together like that. And I love all
No.
music and know all of it. And that's still one of my favorites. Is all I'm saying.
but Mess got put on when he was in the pen, supposedly, right?
right, from Bounty Hunter.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Shout out
But
to Bounty Hunter. Shout out
but
to Hunters, yeah.
from what I understand,
111.
he also
Shout out
has
my boy Mike
family
B,
from
yeah.
he has family from there, right? And
Yeah.
so like my boy Black Rhino, R.I.P. He was from San Mateo,
Yeah.
born and raised in San Mateo, but he lived with his aunts in I think the Swans, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken,
Okay.
out in L.A. So
Yeah.
when in his teenage years he got put on, so he was a
Yeah.
blood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He came back to the Bay, you know what I mean, when he was older, but he was still a blood. But he's from the Bay. And my old question was like, I thought they don't bang blood in the Bay. He's like, yeah, but I lived in LA when I was growing up, when I was becoming who I was becoming, like
Yeah.
a man.
No, that shit became.
So
a
that
thing
shit
we-
happens.
For
You know what I
sure,
mean? It's not prevalent, right?
Right.
But it things like that happen. Now I don't know Messi's situation, but from my understanding, he was locked
Let me
up.
tell you where it
It's,
got loose. When Snoop came out, everybody wanted to be a gangster and
Right.
a Crip. Actually.
I experienced that personally.
Literally.
Yeah.
And then
You wanted to be a Crip?
about the
No.
time Little Wayne
Dudes we
said,
grew up
about,
with.
about the
Dudes
time
we
Lil
grew
Wayne
up
was
with.
like blood, like
Yeah.
everybody on blood now. Like I'm just saying, I seen it. I'm like, oh wait, hold on, calm down, everybody. But you
Right.
know what I'm saying? They was really doing that, and
Yeah.
they were trying their hardest. You know what I'm saying? It was
Right.
gated community gangsters and become to. They were born now.
But I mean, shit, you got people getting put on in their mid 20s, late 20s.
Yeah, you joined
maybe
against a
early
teenager,
30s.
not an adult.
So I mean, yeah.
So let's talk about that. Is it wrong to get put on in your 20s?
I mean,
Like-
Officially?
no,
Like
no,
look,
no.
so right, there's a lot of people that say like, oh, becoming part of a hood, becoming part of a gang, that's a kid thing, right?
Yeah.
But if you growing up, right, and you hang around your neighborhood your whole life and shit,
Mhm.
and maybe you move away and you come back to the neighborhood and
Yeah.
there's older fools and shit, whatever, but and you repping your shit, like, I mean, to get jumped in seems kind of weird, but to get put on and rep your hood, that's probably like, I mean, if it's in your heart, it's in your heart,
Are they
right?
still jumping people in?
I don't know, but Sibo
Hood by hood.
said it don't matter when you became a gangster, but the minute you decided to say, motherfucker, I'm a gangster,
So,
then you a gangster, and you
with
got to
that.
do
you
gangster
get to
shit.
eat it either
And
way
as
now.
long as you don't snitch, as long as you don't bitch out, as long as you don't have no charges,
Yeah.
then it doesn't matter if you're 80 years old, bro. You a gangster.
Agree with
As
that.
the minute you decide to become a
Yeah.
gangster,
Shout out
Bro, that
Sibo.
shit don't wipe
Yeah.
off. I'm an adult. I can't go to jail today as an adult for some shit that's gonna hold me overnight. A DUI, I'm getting out in the morning. It's not. So it's, what's up? I
Right.
grew up doing this. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it don't wipe off. So yeah.
So I mean, a lot of people talk shit like, oh man, gangs is kids shit, whatever. But it's deeper than just gangs, right? It's not just representing your hood and kicking on the block all day, right? It's a camaraderie, dude. It's like it's a family and shit.
Yeah.
And if you haven't experienced it, then you wouldn't understand,
Right.
right? Because it's just like
It's not for them to
For
understand.
real.
right.
Yeah,
It's
not.
just like
Too much.
grown men getting into video games, right? Late in their life. You know what I mean? There's a lot of grown men that play Madden and shit. There's some motherfuckers that win Madden tournaments and they're 40, 50 years old.
But
That's a kid's game though.
but
Yeah.
playing devil's advocate,
Right.
right? I mean, are you more liable, or are you to where, are you going to catch more cases as a youngster and prove that you're solid, or prove this and that, versus coming in as a mid to late 20-year-old? Are you going to you think you're going to face the same time or trials and tribulations as you were as a youngster, a young knucklehead?
I don't know. Maybe
Learning
they
the
are
hard
maybe
way.
all maybe they already did, but they weren't officially put on, right? Maybe
Did they
growing
catch
up they were,
time?
maybe
Were they in difficult
do
places?
you have to catch time though? As long as they were solid, they did their dirt,
Right.
and if anybody pressed them, they kept to their word.
Yeah.
Does it really matter?
Right.
I
we
think
got
the streets and inside are like two different worlds.
Oh,
And
shout out
and
to
it
Thuggy
puts
510 Oakland for the membership, man. First tier, appreciate it.
for sure, shout out.
But go
But
ahead.
my opinion is, I think it's two different places, it's two different worlds, and it's two different types of, you got to you got to be brave in two different types of places like that, and it's not the same.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like if it's both sides of the sword, like you're a double-edged sword if you go through both sides, and I feel like you have more, like you're gonna experience those things as a youngster on both
Right.
sides, versus you hopping into the game mid to late 20s or early 30s, and maybe you won't even see those type of instances or circumstances,
Well, I
Yeah.
knew I
because
knew a
you kind
guy.
of skip and you kind of go, you don't,
Yeah, I
you're
see
not
what
in
you're
it.
saying, but I know a guy who was like in his late 30s, right, when I was younger, and he had just got out the pen, and he didn't bang or he didn't, he was a square his whole life. He got caught up on some drug charges, went to the feds, but he ended up kicking it with the homies, and
Mhm.
so he came out and he was like, "Well, I'm a homie." And he was like, I was never a part of in the street, but in there, you got to be a part of something or else. They put me with the homies. The homies had my back. They looked out for me. When it was time to rock and roll, I had to rock and roll, no ifs, ands, or buts.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I did it. So he came out in later years and he was like, I mean, I'm not from a hood, but I'm a homie. And that's something you can't take away from me. And he said something that always stuck with me. The only motherfucker that can make me bad is me, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, you're right.
Yeah, but I'm talking more of the ones who don't see time,
Right.
the ones who, they'll go to county jail and do this and that, but if you ain't going, really just catching a charge and going to the state or going to the feds, you know at that, then you
At
don't
that
really
old age.
at that part of your life, whether it's in the 20s, mid 20s, or even further than that, like how would you know the to me it's like, how would you know the full struggle, and know
Yeah,
where and relate to your
there-
peers at
there's
that
people
point.
who join hoods at 9, 10 years old and they don't know them. They never been
Right.
to jail. They don't.
Mhm.
They still cool homies.
Well, that's true. Well, I mean,
And
to
this is
be
me being devil's advocate.
right. To be,
Yeah.
if you have a well-structured hood, then you're educated regardless. If you grow up into it, right? If you're part of it and you grow up into it, then you're going to be educated and you're going to see the trials and tribulations and you're going to know what's going to happen. You're going to know the consequences because you're going to see it, right? So whether you make it out there or not, like I said before, like several times, a homie told me like, man, uh, crash outs come a dime a dozen, man, but
Mm.
you know,
Yeah.
it, we need more motherfuckers that are educated and shit. So
Yeah.
a lot of homies push that education. A lot of homies push that, man, go to school, get your degree, become a fucking lawyer,
Mhm.
become a business owner so you
Right.
can help the homies.
And I think what we're seeing now is, especially not just with not just with us, but I think us in a in a huge way is homies seeing that, right? They're seeing the big tones, never been to prison, right? Good motherfucker,
I
you
mean,
know.
my
Right.
state cases
Yeah.
wisely.
So I think this is really important aspect
Right.
of anything, right? Is you don't, bro, prison don't make you. Mad Dog talked about it last time.
Yeah.
Right.
Prison don't make you
I'm
more
gonna
of a
be
homie
here.
than a motherfucker who ain't
Right.
been in prison. Nobody.
Gangster.
I did 23 years, and I
So
look at these brothers that's been out this whole time like geniuses. Homie, come
Right.
on.
So Slim Loco, my boy, he said, tell them it's like a fraternity. They stay loyal to their fraternities for life.
Right.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's
Where
a
all the
fraternity.
things,
It's a
yeah,
brotherhood.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. No, they kept scrapping, man. Yeah. But
Y'all
I mean,
they
I
in a
mean,
fraternity.
On the Stomp
That's-
the R team. You know
that's
what I'm
what it is. It's a
Yeah.
fraternity, but with more rules. But you're right. You see
No
these,
hazing.
nobody says anything about these rich motherfuckers that go to fucking Bohemian Grove and do rituals and weird shit. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Hey, why is that
But-
even getting compared? That's they weirdos.
Because
Finish
it's
your
a
point.
it's a fraternity, right? Nobody
Yeah.
says nothing about these people that join these fraternities and claim these fraternities for life and
Yeah.
get in on it, right? The only thing is they're rich and powerful, have money, but it's the same thing. They utilize each other for the betterment of their businesses, right? They
Right.
utilize each other for connections. Well, that's the same thing we do, you know what I mean?
Right.
But on a different scale.
Yeah.
Right. I'm wearing Drip Kings. Got dope flavors on.
Yeah,
Right.
obviously support. Yeah.
And
Right.
that's what I like nowadays is we're all collaborating together, we're all pushing each other, and we're promoting that,
And
whether it's
legit business.
in legit businesses, whether you want to pursue higher education, whether you want to pursue employment that's gonna, whether you're starting your own business or getting a better job,
Right.
like
Right.
we're all for that, no matter what your background is or where
right.
you coming
Right.
from.
And that to counter that,
Mhm.
just so you can see the stark contrast is if you watch the suckers, if you watch the DO channels, right? If you watch the DO channels,
I don't.
right? I don't watch them either, brother. I get sent them all the fucking time by these dudes. So I get
Dude.
these screen recordings,
Or the no good channels, we
Yeah.
should say.
whatever.
That's a
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all
They
trash,
be in the
right?
algorithm
Right.
right there. So I see them.
Right,
shits
so-
here and there.
So if I get these screen recordings that homie send me, and they'll be like, "Oh, this fool's this, he said this, right?" And all they do is just bash each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Kind of like being in the hole.
It is, bro. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Mm.
It's like being in a shoe. So in a shoe, when we had cage yard and corker shoe, you can't talk to none of these motherfuckers. And the active cages was so like spread out, really. You know what I'm saying? You just busting down and you just hearing these motherfuckers talk to each other, and all they're talking about is who's the biggest rat,
I was
Right.
just gonna say,
Oh.
what are they talking about?
Right.
Who's the biggest
who
who's
like.
the biggest piece of
Well,
shit?
this fool just let that motherfucker chill. How long was you over there? Oh, what's his name was over there, right? They just talking shit about each other, right? And on the internet, that's what they doing too. They doing the same shit. You got one of these dudes talking about this other J Cat about his. What the fuck?
What you want to do for fun?
Yeah.
It's all
Right.
family
Yeah,
motherfuckers
keep
around.
doing that shit.
It's fun.
And all these weirdos watching that shit, tuning in to watch these a lot of active homies too watching that shit, tuning in to watch these dudes crash out. You know what I'm saying?
So what's the difference between them, the no good channels, and the Southerners? Because they do the same
do the
shit.
same shit to each
They
other.
talk shit about each other, and they like, man, you know
Hold
what I
on.
mean?
Literally, that's what that
Hold on.
demographic enjoy.
Shout out my boy Sykes, man. Shout out my boy Mike Sykes, man. I know you see him in the comment section, man. Eller life, man. Shout out my guy. If you need something moved in the truck, holler at him, bro.
Okay,
Get with it,
okay.
man.
And
You guys,
the-
you guys.
I need
truck
one of them
up.
banana
See what he just
baskets
did?
that Safeway just
he
got.
just promoted his
See what
home.
he just did?
Pretty bricks,
Right.
you're like,
Promotion for the
Josh, you
homie
see
right
what
there,
he just
man.
did?
yeah, he shouted out his
He
baby.
shot out his boy.
Hey, but
This
watch
is-
this. I'm gonna beat that. Watch this. All this negativity. What's going on with you right now? And your music right now, and your drops right
Oh
now.
yeah, see, I'm about to drop. My boy
Oh,
Mudville
here we
Media.
go.
Let's hear it.
Yeah,
I
man.
ain't even dropped yet. My boy Mudville Media threw it up on there. Threw it up on his.
Right.
He's got a huge channel.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Mudville.
shout out
Shout
my
out to
boy
Mudville.
Mudville.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He threw it on his channel real quick. Just a little shout out, just a little plug, man. I love that. That's the
Yeah,
type
right.
of shit
Right.
that
Right.
And now we need to charge your boy $5.99. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I'm just kidding. But that's what it is. So a lot of these channels, right? To get a shout out, they're gonna charge you, right?
Yeah.
A lot of these bigger social media people or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not about that, man. It's about bringing motherfuckers together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sponsorship is one thing, but giving
Yeah.
a shout out to a motherfucker just to come up. Man, how hard is that?
Right.
To like a motherfucker's page, how hard is that?
Right.
To leave a little comment, it don't cost you nothing to
Yeah.
comment, like, and subscribe. So do that right now while you're watching.
It's
But you know, but
It's really
Yeah.
simple.
I'm
It's
regular
like-
too. I never do it
That's
either. Most
love.
of us don't. We're like, whatever.
I know I do it.
That's love
Right, but you're in the move of it.
I do it.
I was like,
I try to do it somewhere. I wish people would send me more shit so
Right.
I could post up on the page
The
directly.
people who don't do it are trying to be cool. They're
Yo.
waiting to see what everybody else does.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Like some of these dudes I mess with every day,
right,
right? They don't like none of my shit.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But I never sweat them about it. I don't say nothing about it, but I definitely keep it in a Rolodex.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when they come around asking for shit, they getting put on the back burner for the most part.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're not participating in progress, homie, you part of stagnation.
You know who I see shout out everybody all the time besides you is Rico. Like,
Rico.
Rico don't give a shit.
Man, he got
Throw
so
that
many
motherfucker-
reposts on his story.
Rico
I was like,
too
yeah,
smooth,
yeah,
man.
it's fine.
He will, like, if you see his
Definitely
story,
noticed it.
dude, it's got about 20, 30 motherfucking stories of all
Yeah.
different shit, homie.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he not getting a dime from
You know,
most of
shout
the
out Rico.
motherfuckers.
And his page is huge, his profile is huge.
Right.
Honestly,
he got a
if I want to
huge
if I want to
platform.
know what's going on locally, blood, or
Yeah.
out the way, I just go to the story, bro. The homie got everybody put on, man.
Shout out John Keefe and Thuggy
Yeah,
510 Oakland for the
Thuggy, man.
1999.
What's up, Shaggy? I love you, brother.
John Keefe for the
Hell yeah.
2-month member first tier. Man, I appreciate all
More
y'all,
knows I
man.
need to please.
And that,
Yeah, oh yeah, shout out Thuggy.
yeah.
Yeah, shout out to O for real.
Yeah, and we ain't asking for your money, but we just asking for your support. But we appreciate everything you do, man.
Absolutely.
And Thuggy 510 Oakland, man, from the beginning, he been here from the beginning.
Yeah.
He always shows love and
I know,
support,
I
man.
love that
and we
name too,
appreciate
Thuggy.
you.
Love
Man.
that name.
Thuggy, man, if you ever at one of our events, come holler at me, man. I got you a free
Yeah, I got
t-shirt or
a
something.
t-shirt, I got a sign, whatever.
We gonna give you something, man. Just come holler at us, man. Just let us
Good,
know,
good,
hey,
good.
hey, I'm Thuggy for 510 Oakland, but
Just bring your paperwork.
just make sure you're good, man. You know what I mean?
Got red
Oh,
sellers.
no, I thought because you said no paperwork.
Nah, shout out Thuggy for real.
Yeah, but
solid individual.
A lot of people get that crossed, right? With
Yeah.
no paperwork. Like, oh, you supposed to have your paperwork. Man, we're
We
not
on
in
the
the
yard,
pen, bro.
motherfucker. We free.
Yeah,
we
we
know
talking
this
about-
motherfucker state. I want to tell y'all.
We
Yeah.
talking
Sorry,
about
I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and this all
Yeah.
shit. So, look here. No paper. What we mean is how it was out here before you got hit in one state.
Yeah.
It better not be nobody be like, look, man, he told on the partners and everything. Like, what? Because
Right.
you get that right here,
Right,
too,
yeah.
in Discovery. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
that's what we mean. We know that you got to, have this shit all.
It's so crazy now.
Shout out
Motherfucking
AP
MacGyver
209.
and hidden ritual on the. We get it. You know what I mean? Like,
It's so crazy how little the general public cares about. Like, I don't expect them to care about snitches, right? I don't expect them to care about snitches. But when you get to Chomo stuff, right? And you
Right.
get to
Right,
Rapo
right,
stuff,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I expect the general public, like if you still rocking with some of these dudes after you know what you know what I'm saying?
right.
Right.
Bro, you're a weirdo.
Dude, I was
I don't
chained
care
to
if you
one,
never
bro.
been. I don't care if you what.
So hold on. So
Yeah.
I watched this dude the one night we county jail, right?
He was
We-
chained
we-
to-
Hold on. No, hold on. Watch. So like we go to court, but it's a last name thing, right?
Buffalo
so
Bill?
both last name with a K and shit. So I hear him tell these brothers that night, they're like, man, what the fuck you nerdy ass up in here for? He's like, oh, I work at Blockbuster, I robbed a joint and everything. I was like, oh yeah. I was going to bed that night, boom, court in the morning. It turned out, boom, we do the thing, walk down the thing, we chain right, you know.
yeah.
So when we had to turn over, sit down, he next to me. They get to hitting this shit, yeah. So you was back in the school, you was on bail for being that, trying to get at that kid. I was like, well, immediately I'm like, what my dad do? My dad a gangster.
Yeah.
I'm about 19-ish, but I already know it's up now. Watch this part. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm
Yeah.
at with my whole life. So I think I'm hearing what I'm hearing, and then they go, and then you were just caught again by the fence of that same school. These are key words that's hitting my head. And try to get at them kids again. I just stood the fuck up and gave business. Blah, blah, blah. So we in court chained to this fuck. But the bailiffs jump in, everybody dive in, they separate me from him, uncuff him, take him to PC, never seen him
Yeah.
again, and never said a word to me. No contempt of court or nothing. I was like,
That's tough. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's a good
Sports.
thing about.
Well, I'm
listen,
Whoa,
saying-
left hand for the fake man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
that's a
yeah.
good thing about county jail and Sac County Jail.
It's real
Look,
gangster shit.
I've
They
got
different
I've
here.
got down with Southerners. I've gone down with other group segments that were not necessarily right,
Mm.
but And basically, if they're supposed to keep you, hold on. I'm gonna give you guys game. If you're in Sacramento County Jail and you catch a sucker, right? If it's a no good motherfucker, if it's a chomo, if it's uh if you're a blood and it's a crip, if you're a northerner and it's a
Whatever,
southerner,
yeah.
right? If you're diametrically opposed to whoever and you get off, it's the sheriff's officer's job to keep you guys separated. So if you get off, they don't give you the write up. You're not just getting a write up.
It's
They
like their
might,
fault for putting
yeah, it's their job. That's what classification is for. You know what I'm saying? You still can't say
I
nothing.
mean, I knew I was
Right? You
cool.
can't
I was
talk.
like,
Don't
I
say
gotta get
nothing
something
in
going
your
on. I'm like,
stuff.
fuck this.
Listen, don't say nothing in your stuff, right? Don't, because the summaries come out, the motherfuckers gonna see it. But definitely handle your business, and you probably getting a freebie.
Right.
Don't be scared, even if you
Real.
go into court. I've been in court sprayed up in Mason. All they did was put it off till the next week.
But look, this is how we grew up though. Like, okay, if you I hear the street, if it's something better, you fight. Like, I'll fuck you. We'll call the police. It's a work project. You know what
Yeah.
I'm right? You in jail, and like you gonna fight. Like, what are you gonna get? We're in jail.
Yeah.
We're already rule breakers. That's why we in jail, right?
Yeah.
So nobody's really tripping. Nobody's got no excuse to like not have this happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's happening for real. It's no problem. Fuck everybody. Problem is.
Yeah.
Man.
That's going down. Shit, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So real quick though, earlier when I said what about you, I didn't mean the podcast shout out. I mean what's new with your music right now, and what's new with the label right now. By the way, I mean
on the
jumping
30th,
off, you know what I mean?
On the 30th, I'm dropping
Sorry,
I'm dropping Enhancements, my Enhancements album. Whole album mixed and mastered by Legacy Studios.
Oh, yeah, y'all like
you didn't just
Right.
you just left it just enhancements, not gang enhancements like we're all used to seeing on paperwork
Right,
in the
just
courtroom.
That I mean, I'm glad you said that though, because enhancements, like it just means bettering, right? It just means bettering. It means more of, right? It means right excelling, right?
That's what to enhance something.
To enhance
Right.
something.
Then why in court they be saying gang enhancements on the
'Cause
motherfucker?
Because you're enhancing the
time.
crime.
That time.
Yeah.
Or you're enhancing the crime by being a gang member.
Right.
The crime holds 3, but the enhancement holds 7.
Yeah, right. You get
Possibly.
So that's why it's gang
Crazy.
enhancement.
Yeah.
But
Bitch
when
ass.
you enhance
Mm.
yourself, like you enhance your high by smoking that dope flavors, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
You want to enhance your mind. You
Yeah.
smoke that dope flavors. Buns will tell you all about it.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
That's why I look like this right now.
Hey man, we told you not to smoke that shit before.
Wake up.
But yeah, man. So Enhancements is coming out. That's gonna be a dope album. You
Yeah.
also got an album with NOR coming. You know what I mean? Can you
yeah.
speak about that?
Yeah, so I'm about 7 songs deep in the NOR album, right? And I'm still waiting for some beats from my brother Triple M. Yeah, I seen that too.
Mike said, "I'm trying to show these highness my male enhancements."
Yeah. So
Uh,
I'm about 7. I'm waiting for some beats from Triple M. I'm gonna finish this up. I got another album with my boy, and you guys gonna be like real. It's gonna go real crazy.
GB.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been talking about that album, and like I don't want to say so much,
Hey, man.
but man,
At least we got
I've
a
been
date
in
now.
so
Yeah,
many
at
studio
least we got it.
sessions in my life, and one of those was one of the best sessions I've been in my life in the studio.
that's
Yeah.
what's up.
can you drop
not
the
kidding.
date?
That's
You-
what's up.
And
Can you drop what the date?
Nah, I can't drop the
Not
date yet. I ain't
Dang.
dropping the date yet.
Stay
It
tuned,
just-
man.
Yeah,
Just
stay
stay
it
tuned.
was
Stay
it was it
tuned.
was an organic experience, and it included portions of genre music that nobody would have thought would have been implemented into that session.
Yeah.
It's you'll see. There's some
But-
songs on there you be like, there's zero way this is VFD and GB.
I want to
That's
leak something from the NOR album. That one feature that you got, that song. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. I'm not gonna tell you what, but that's man. I was bumping that on the way. I bump that
Yeah, I
every
heard
day, and it's just your verse on there. It's
Right.
not with
Don't
the
talk too
feature
much
yet.
about
Yeah.
that.
I'm not gonna
that's
talk
just-
too much, but I'm just saying that
Yeah.
one right there.
That's just hard.
Fuck, that shit goes.
Yeah.
And I bumped that shit, and I'm like, man, I want to let motherfuckers hear that shit so
Yeah.
bad.
You gotta send it to
Hey,
me.
look
I'm
at
trying to
that.
listen
Hey,
to that
I
shit.
ain't
What
talking- we ain't talking
what
from
that
Is
sound
there
like?
plans with that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out Sam Ramirez for the $4.99, man. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Appreciate you,
Love
Sam.
you, Sam Ramirez, man. Shit, no Diddy.
Appreciate
Shout out.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So I got within it by 2025. I'm gonna have in the mid 2025. I'm gonna have like 3 albums out. Yeah. It's
Word.
like it's crazy, man.
Merch on the way.
Oh yeah, merch. We're gonna have dope all-star criminal merch. It's gonna have mine, it's gonna have tracks, it's gonna be just generally all-star.
Everybody on the label.
Yep. Man, we just got.
That's
so much
right,
stuff
Thuggy.
going on.
Live by the G code, man.
Yeah.
And I think it's so simple, right, to live by the G code and shit. And I'm sorry, I
No,
didn't
it
mean to
ain't.
cut you off, but
It
it's
ain't.
it ain't, but it is, right? Because there's a simple set of rules, right? And if you about it,
They
then
breaking
that's
rules
what you
now, though. They
do.
telling now. They're telling us
Yeah,
the
bro.
biggest part of the issue.
Bro.
And mind you, the Fed set this up way back with the mob. Like now they can hit you hard on the Fed. You know the Feds don't even touch you unless they got you. They don't play that game. They're not like sheriffs will pick you up and hope you telling yourself in an interview, not even have everything on you yet,
Yeah.
let you go and all kind of shit. Feds don't play that. Feds get you because they got you.
Yeah.
They're not playing, and that's why originally the mob and the people was like, "Fuck it, I snitched," and they gave it the only option to fuck out.
Yeah.
And they created the snitch as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
The way we all grew up at our age, you ain't telling our neighborhood, your mom whoop your ass.
Right.
Shout
Tell
out
about
CD
nobody.
Classics for the $5, man. When
Yes,
y'all
sir.
gonna interview Casper Loke? I do not know,
I
man.
don't know neither.
Hey, can we make that happen?
That's my brother, man. I do actually have something in the works with Casper Lokes. Yeah.
Well, that's
That's
right.
man.
Shout out
When
Casper
you get on the thing, bro, that man works, man. He got kids. He really be working.
Right.
You
Yeah.
But shout out Casper Loke, man. We're gonna work on that. And John Keith, thank you for the $5, man. Keep doing your
I
work.
think-
Solid
My
in
Brody.
what?
Keith.
Inspection.
Yeah.
100.
So, Casper Lokes, I think, is the most requested interview.
Right.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
Should
And
I think I'm gonna ask him about it.
yeah,
You
I mean,
think?
see if we can make it
Yeah.
happen.
Well, I don't ask him because I know his real life. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah,
yeah,
it's time to impose, man.
Hey, man, closed mouth don't get fed.
yeah, that's right. I'll ask him.
Real
Yeah,
shit.
well, you look like I want to
But
feel.
Yep.
going back to what
Had
you
a-
say, man, it I did a verse and I said it's so hard being solid but so easy to switch, but I refuse to bow down because ain't no cowards in this, right? So
Yeah.
that's like some real shit, right? It is
Hell yeah.
So
it is hard.
basic
You got
bar.
it's hard and it's fucking you know, it's hard being solid because there's so much
It is, bro.
like you're against so much, right? And it's so easy to just fucking tell and get it over with or fucking
Yeah.
fucking do whatever, do some fuck shit and
Yeah.
just be on an all bad yard and kick your feet up and whatever, right?
Yeah.
But when I say it's not hard because it's simple, man. Just be accountable for your own shit,
Bro.
right?
Mm.
I hate to keep bringing this stuff up, but man, being in a cell by yourself for 10 years, bro, with no homies around, right?
On punishment.
I was,
Real.
bro, I was in 2 different prisons, and the only motherfucker I talked to was a Crip from Long Beach.
Right.
Right? You know what I'm saying? And a Paisa. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Those were literally the only conversations I had for years
Two
and
mice
years
in the wall you can't
and
see.
years and years and years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, because there wasn't no homies around. And
Right.
you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
man, it's like I watch hella fools roll it up, homie.
Yeah.
Suckers, for everybody, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so but like, cause you guys, well, I don't want to get in. I hate all
Don't-
this
don't
shit.
get too
I'm
deep,
not doing
yeah.
nothing but yeah. But some policies require you can't do some shit. Other motherfucking people's policy require they can't do some shit. So one yard not be go okay for y'all. One might be
Right.
fine
One of
for
your
the
guys,
next, which is
one of
really
these
weird.
Northern Cali's
Not
favorite
for y'all,
rappers.
I'm saying.
Yep.
But
One of Northern Cali's favorite
wireless shouldn't be
rappers.
disputed, it shouldn't be.
Yeah. One of Northern Cali's favorite rappers rolled it up right in front of me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I watched him roll it up.
Yeah.
Right.
That's in a branch.
Yeah.
So
I know.
yeah, and
Dang.
motherfuckers still just be embracing him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a no go.
Not a homeboy, though, right?
Hey,
Listen,
Hell no, he ain't no
right,
homeboy.
man, that's
Yeah.
regular shit.
Right.
This
Hell
is-
no, he ain't no
we just
homeboy.
talking most, I know most time we talking about homeless people.
Ain't no
talking regular
homeboy.
shit, but yeah, you gotta. Some people's morals sit so deep that way. You'll have to drag my defeated self to the door, and then worse than that, if I got whooped like that and removed somehow from something, I ain't talking about y'all politics, but I'm saying just in general, in some way. If you didn't change my mind, you ain't beat shit.
Right.
You stalled me out for a minute. You ain't finna change my mind, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Period.
Right.
Period. If I'm fighting you over something in life, it's because I'm standing on what the
Yeah.
fuck I'm fighting you for.
You know what's
You're not gonna
crazy?
change
is
your mind now.
Most
So
people
now you
that
got a heart you're dealing with too.
most people that get beat up by the police, I think that's what you're talking about. Most people that get beat up by the police, I see them come back stronger.
Bro, yeah. I'll be like,
I-
fuck you and your t-shirt. Like,
I
you know what
really
I'm saying?
do.
You want the same rock I
Right.
walk, bro. The fuck? Be for real.
I really see
They
them
be
come
mean here, though. They'll kill you here. They cold and sack, boy.
in prison. I see them like a lot of people get down with them fools. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
and when they come back, it's a different, like, you survived it. You
Mhm.
survived it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they don't be rolling it up.
Right.
Those are the
Yeah.
dudes you could pretty much be like, oh,
Yeah.
they ran in the office on them dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, them motherfuckers.
You went through a whole different experience
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you went to a whole different place for a whole new circumstance,
Yeah.
and you still came back.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and
It's, hey,
there's a lot of people that don't.
Well, fucking, we was young when they took this fool. Like we partners since young, right? Then he got took, and of course, your first thing everybody want to lean on is like, is he coming back? How? You get this
Yeah.
for 30+ years.
Right.
Fuck, we still kids.
Yeah, but I
Right.
anticipated that, and I respect y'all for
Right.
that. That's why I never had no.
No, I didn't like lose faith, but I'm saying like the world, the way they see it, we knew you were gonna have to behave. Like that was the fact. Now
So look,
nobody had the kind of hope that you had for yourself, which is extremely glorified and dope. You know what I'm saying? Not nobody. I mean, you had friends out here that always loved you. Like, but I'm saying, when somebody get 30 sentence, you're like, that don't look good at all.
Right.
And we're
Yeah.
going to assume that you that got it feels like this don't look good at all. I got to act a goddamn fool.
Right.
And this
I did
motherfucker-
act a fool.
For sure you did. But you did come out things that nobody does too. Like stayed persistent,
Mhm.
educated, attempted. You know, you
Right.
try, try, no maybe, whatever you try, maybe whatever the fuck. Like,
Right.
and
Yeah.
got yourself about that whole situation. Came back and now you're selling out here.
Thuggy 510 Oakland said 1999 said he needed a hard
Wow.
copy of the BFD album, man.
He want a hard copy? Yeah, we was
Hey.
actually talking about recently about printing box up. So
Yeah.
Hey.
you might be one of the lucky
Yeah.
ones. You know what I'm
No,
saying,
we
type of
print
thing.
100 of them up.
All right.
Yeah.
We
So
gonna see how I do.
so he just bought the first one, man.
All right.
Ready?
Boom.
Yeah.
There you
He's,
go.
DM
he's the
me.
first guaranteed man. That's
DM
getting one.
DM me.
All right,
Remind
you
me,
got a
and
hard
I'll
copy.
sign it for you.
Don't be but 100 of them.
Yeah.
I'll
Thug-
sign it for you.
Appreciate you, Thuggy 510 Oakland, man. That's real. You got that. You got that coming.
John Keith kicking next time. What about me?
He said, "Hold on." So, do you see the Big Rick James right there?
Oh yeah.
Cap, bro. You better ask your folks. They've been yeah.
Yeah.
Calm down, Ricky.
Yeah. You better ask your folks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
right.
yeah, I mean, you know, trolls are gonna
Yeah,
be trolls, man.
but I
and
just
they
want to
gonna say-
address that.
Yeah.
I just want to
Y'all got
address that.
trolls up in there.
Since
Yeah.
I'm not even on
2013,
Oh yeah, nah, he was
since
saying-
2013, it's been great.
Right. You know what I mean?
It's been great. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, man. So, you know, everybody gonna say what they gotta say,
Yeah.
right? But it's mostly motherfuckers that ain't lived it, shit, right?
Right.
People talk a lot of shit, and you know, people get their information from YouTube. They
Right.
get their information from No Goods, right? And they think that shit is gospel. That's not what it is.
Right.
So
Well,
you
motherfuckers
got
don't
all,
see a meme and think that.
well,
It'd be about
Right.
politics. It'd be a meme.
But
They're
you
like,
got-
because
you
I
got
saw Reddit
motherfuckers
on a
thinking-
meme.
you got motherfuckers thinking shit is one way because something happened in the pen and shit, but man, it ain't. We ain't in the pen, bro.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. And dude, if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't.
Exactly. I don't know nothing.
Right.
Ever.
Exactly.
Ever. I
But-
got INT on
I
my
don't
neck.
know
Means I'll
nothing.
never tell.
But stop getting your information from these no good channels and thinking that it's gospel.
That shit don't make
They
sense.
sound good and it sounds convincing, and motherfuckers, you know, they're car salesmen. You know what I mean? They gonna tell you this shit runs like a champ. They gonna tell you this shit the hottest, latest thing. And when you drive it off the lot, fool, that shit gonna overheat. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop listening to these car salesmen, man.
Come on.
You know, if you, like I said, if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. And you know what? Some things are better left unsaid, right? And, you know, a lot of times I want to counter a lot of what these motherfuckers say, but it's like, to who? For what? Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Everything water off a duck feather. You know what I mean?
Right.
And most of the shit be bullshit. But if it's a fact, then it's a fact, right? And I can't change it none. It just goes behind me in my fucked up fact pile, and I'm still moving. It's still water off a duck feather. I'm still going that. All right, then, man. You ain't gonna hold me down. Shit,
Hey,
I'm saying.
BFD, bro, you like Vin Rhymes from Baby Boy.
Yeah.
Mama.
Yeah, you might catch me cooking with my butt cheeks.
They scrambled eggs some old son, little motherfucker.
Want something to eat? You hungry?
The son taller than you and shit. Talking about.
I've been mad at that motherfucker too. My
Yeah,
beat up,
man.
gang
Take
banging
motherfucking
ass.
clothes on.
Listen,
Marvin,
You ain't gonna bring somebody I can beat up easily?
Yeah.
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 You got
I
me
ain't got
getting
no
beat up by
Saturday
your
clothes.
boyfriend and you kicking me out? Tell me
Right.
shit that. Damn, that's what you do, bro? You knock down Mom Dukes and kick the kid out? It's our house now, baby boy.
Your mom was telling me this ain't working out for y'all. He's like, what?
Look, you 20-something years old living at your mom's house, right?
Now you all in this hustle. He got to kill you.
Bro, I might drop something on you and be like, bro, here you go. Right. You gotta live in your car for a little bit. Thug
You gotta get killed
thug
for it
that
to
shit
make
out,
it.
bro.
Right.
about
Make
that
it
time.
man need to be.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, you know, going back to it, just you know, everything you see that glitters ain't always gold, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
So
glitter. I
hey,
hate that shit. My daughter's using it. I'm like, don't. I can't. I don't do I can roast, but I don't like to get ridiculed, right?
Yeah.
Fuck right. You got daughters that play with the glitter. You didn't notice it's on your face as soon as you go to school.
but that's not what I'm talking about.
I'm saying, yeah, I hate glitter.
Been to one too many strip clubs.
Shit.
Yeah.
That was the other time.
But yeah, dude, you know, and you know, just going back to finish that one thing I was saying is like, you know, what we're trying to do, man, we're not trying to emphasize. So we don't talk about little shit like we all know what's happening in social media. We all know the new shit. We ain't trying to push the negative, the narrative, the bullshit, or the fuckery, man. We trying to push the unity. We trying to push the positivity. We trying to push Buns' dope flavors, man. We trying to get y'all in that high state of mind. You know what I mean? We trying to come here and give you a little bit of clutch, a little bit of game. You know, let you know about music and shit, and let you know that it is okay to support your brothers, man. It is okay
Well, this
to
motherfucker
fucking
required in my world.
right.
But,
It is okay to support people you don't know, even if you ain't up and they higher than you, man. Hey, support the
Let me just
motherfuckers,
explain
man.
support for idiots like I used to be an idiot.
Because you see people like Rico that support and they don't get shit from it, but they do, right? You see people like you that support, you know, motherfuckers who ain't got the bag like you do. You know what I'm saying? And you do. I try to do it all the time myself, right? Don't cost a thing, and there's enough money to go around and get it. Just stay in your lane and get what you got to get.
right.
Like, I'm never worried about someone out hustling me because the only person that can defeat me is me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The only person that could out hustle me is me because if I'm not on my job, I don't eat. You know what I mean? And if you ain't on your job, you don't eat. So don't worry about what the next man is doing. Worry about what you doing. Now, if it comes to the next man interfering in what you got, to your morals and your beliefs, that's different.
Yeah.
You know, speak on it all day. You know what I mean? Whatever you want. But don't give light to the fuckery. You know what I mean? So there's a difference. And I know I'm speaking in a little bit of code, but if you know, you know.
I didn't know you speak code.
Right.
Well, just to give a little bit of direction, if you want some dope flavors in the Sacramento area, go see Off the Charts and go see Nugs. Sacramento will soon be at Crystal Nugs in Sacramento as
Nice.
well.
Oh yeah.
What was that? Those flavors you said though.
So you could get the pink slime right now.
Yeah, but the new ones
and
coming was us.
The new ones coming is cherry slime and rare lungs.
Rare
And
lungs.
that's going to be dropping around Thanksgiving, right before Thanksgiving. But right now you can pick up the pink slime, which the strain is called Candy Gas.
Really?
It's a cross between Gelato 41 and Runts. So if you like that candy, but you like that gas right behind it, that 41, go pick you up
Gas,
some
bro,
pink slime in
everybody
the
said-
Sacramento areas. Nug Sacramento, Off the Charts.
You got anything in
Sacramento.
Stockton?
Stockton, we were at Cookie Stockton, but we sold out. So we'll definitely get back up in
Get
there,
back in
probably
there,
with the new drops. But in the
gotta be
Sacramento
hungry,
area,
boy.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's where
You
we at.
sell, you selling your
Look,
stuff out in Cookie?
We got it. We got
Right.
I told you I'm a pot snob type of shit. Everybody always say gas, right? Nobody use the word pungent no more. Cause like you know when you open the bag
Mm-hmm.
or when you grow something up and it's pungent, it
It's
could be
that,
any of these flavors, but you know what's in the background is that dank taste that's gonna
Mhm.
last through every hit until your mouth till it's roached out, right?
Yeah.
You can smell it. Everybody's calling gas now. You know when weed is pungent inside of it. I'm a pot connoisseur and I'm always searching for that. So anytime you have one of them motherfuckers that's just that guy, send them.
I do.
That gas.
I know you do.
Yeah.
Hey, that's real talk. The last time I was here, like, you blessed me, like, here, take this. I was like, this is hot. That shit last me a minute. This was fire.
Yeah.
Fuck.
We got a
Yeah.
new collab we gonna drop
I'm a
too
snob,
pretty
Yeah,
soon.
for sure.
We pick-
Hey, why
Look-
was Mike timed out, Thuggy? I don't think he said
Stay on the
anything he
lookout for them
wasn't
candy
supposed to.
stamps.
Yeah, we got.
Is
Might have
that
been an
bro?
accident.
Go
Yeah.
flavor collab.
Yeah, is
Be
that
on the
bro?
lookout
That's
for
your
that.
body. It's your business.
Yeah,
Candy
man.
stamps.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the candy stamps, man. It's gonna be just like the old school food stamps. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you been stamps from like jail because
Bringing it
back in the
back.
day
Nah,
they
bringing
had
it
them
back.
stamps.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got the bags and stuff. So I mean, it's
We
rocking.
got dope ass ideas,
Yeah.
man. This
Yeah.
guy comes up with, he just calls me and be like, hey, we'll,
Guess what this time?
Yeah.
and then we just go,
Yeah.
we just go back and forth and just
Yeah.
we josh shit down, we plan stuff,
Yeah.
we set goals, and
Yeah.
we collaborate really well, man. So definitely,
Yeah.
definitely
I'm grateful
be
you
on the
motherfuckers are
lookout
making
for
it. I
is
keep
that broke
prospering.
dough flavor
Yeah.
collaborations in the future. That's what
For
we
real.
pushing that 2025.
Yeah. A lot
Yeah,
more of this
Yeah.
around, man.
Are we about
hell
to
yeah,
climb out of this thing?
man. What else we got to talk about?
We don't really got to talk about nothing. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm good.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
Be on the
Blunt,
lookout.
what else you got to?
Appreciate you, man. We appreciate
What else you
everybody.
got to
Thanks for
say?
staying up all night with us.
So yeah, shout out to Equity Trade Network. Definitely for 2025, look out for us on pretty much, festivals. We were just at the state fair.
Mhm.
Shout out to everybody that came out at the state fair and supported Dope Flavors as well as the Equity Trade Network. Right now, I'm with an organization called Free World, and I'm a Project Rebound alumni. And Project Rebound is a formerly incarcerated student program. So anybody that's interested, that's formerly incarcerated or even currently incarcerated, interested in pursuing higher education, please DM us or DM me.
Yeah.
Right.
And we can get you hooked up. We have a pathway to higher education. But like what I was saying, I'm most recently involved into an organization called the Free World, and the mission behind that is to get the formerly incarcerated into high-paying jobs. And right now, we have a pathway to get into the trucking industry. If you like more information, I'm directly connected to that. So if you like more information, please message and DM us.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
And you just came back from Washington D.C., right?
Oh yeah, I just came back
Yeah.
from Washington.
So that
D.C.
ties in with
Yeah.
what he was talking
Hell yeah.
about.
So-
Advocacy, just trying
Yeah,
to look
yeah.
out for the people.
Speak on what you were doing in
I work
Washington.
with a group called Time Done, which is a subsidiary of Safety and Justice Advocacy.
Shout out Time Done.
Yeah, something like that. And Time Done, they do great work. So what they're trying to do is they work on bills that allow convicts, felons, to have more access to regular things in life, like jobs, housing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's so hard for us to just do basic stuff that most people who haven't been to prison take for granted. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And we went to Washington D.C. and what we went to Washington D.C. for was we're pushing federal bills to help change the laws. Right now, what's happening is both sides are on the tough on crime shit. If you're from Sacramento, you know what's up with Kamala Harris, right? So if you're from California, generally, you know what's up with Kamala Harris. You know what I'm saying? And as far as her her history with minorities in California, it's horrible. You know what I'm saying? And if you were in prison, it's even worse. She was keeping people locked up that
Right.
didn't need to be locked up so she could get free labor.
Right.
That's not something anybody made up. That was actually happening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She tried to keep me in prison when I didn't need it, when the law said I was supposed to be out. You know what I'm saying? She kept a dude on death row who had evidence he wasn't supposed to be on death row.
Right.
You know,
They just killed a man who was on death row in down
This-
south.
Missouri
This
or
is the-
something.
this-
Mississippi or something.
and that's not to say Trump is any better.
He is
Right.
but
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm voting for Trump. I ain't gonna lie. But when it comes to
Trump train.
when it comes to
I got a fuck Trump tat.
right when it comes to criminal justice,
Right.
he talks some
That's
scary
it.
stuff. He
Right.
really does. And talks about drug dealers,
Never mind then.
yeah, getting a death penalty. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So let's
You're not getting into politics.
right.
Oh,
So
that's
I
good.
just
Keep
want
into
I
it.
just want everybody to know like criminal justice is something like I take super serious. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if it's a slap in the face to all my brothers, all the actors behind the wall, if I don't do something, say something about
Yeah.
that shit. You know what I'm
Real.
saying?
Right.
Mhm.
And I said that shit. I said that for years. People argue politically, like, well, this. But like, we live in SAC. This is capital California. These motherfuckers down there, like, every Tuesday or Wednesday doing shit. You can lobby wherever you want. Nobody does it. So it's like saying, I would have whooped your ass if I showed up for the fight. Well, you didn't, so it doesn't matter. So don't argue with me, motherfucker.
That's right.
Yeah,
You showed up for the fight. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yes.
And I'm not done.
Too.
But
Yep.
just to piggyback real quick off what you said, it went, you know, for people that fight for policy and
Yeah.
push policy,
Yeah.
advocates and activists,
Yeah.
like, you know, Time Dunn, you know, the brother over here, as well as our allies,
Yeah.
whether it's political allies and company allies, or just other organizations that do that, you know, they're fighting for policy, they're fighting for funding, and we wouldn't have those, you know, basic human rights like for formerly incarcerated
Right.
student programs.
I wouldn't be out of
reentry
prison.
services and things that community organizations that we could benefit from and be more positive members of society and to our peers to actually, you know, advance and to get our peers to advance. We wouldn't have that. We wouldn't have that equal playing field as it was if it wasn't for the brothers fighting for policy
Right.
Right.
And I just want to make
and
this
change in the law.
and I just want to make this point is nobody's saying that there's no need for prisons, right? Just as a human being, you understand some people just are better off tucked away, right? So that how do you deal with that? And what we were doing in Washington was very specific, right? The way people were coming at criminal justice before was if you commit a crime and the harsher the term, the more you're going to think about what you're doing, right? That was the theory. We know that didn't work,
Right.
right? At the max capacity, crime was insane.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we know that doesn't work. What studies have shown, right, is that most people who commit violent crimes were victims of violent crimes,
Right.
right? So this is just this, like we grew up like that. Like when people ask why you take off on that fool, because I was raised like a pit bull.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We getting down. You know what I'm saying? That's it. This is just common sense, right? So what we were out there with, the majority of the people we were marching with were crime survivors. There were people whose kids had died. You know what I'm saying? There were people who were robbed. You know what I'm saying? And carjacking victims. You know what I'm saying? And they were saying, we don't want these dudes to be locked up forever because you isolate them from society and they come out worse than when they go in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The only people that, for the most part, statistically, that don't come out worse than when they went in were lifers.
Right.
Are lifers in prison, right? And if lifers never get out of prison, then you can't then, right?
Right.
So it doesn't make any sense to give life if people are getting. You just got to use it a little bit more. The 3 strikes, we had the class sisters, poly classes. Both of our sisters spoke really eloquently about how the 3 strikes was manipulated. It was supposed to be for something very specific in regards to children, and it was manipulated to the rest of society as once you commit a felony, you should be locked up for the rest of your life if you commit 2 more felonies.
Right.
And
I can do that on one ride.
you could do that
Dude,
one month. One night.
Right.
Right. So I think that's what was different about this, right? And I genuinely believe in that you have to help crime victims. You know what I'm saying? And like once they don't have access to funds, right, for anything really, right? You have to. It's very rare. There's so much money that goes into DAs, policing, and prisons, obviously, right?
Right.
But the people who are actually the victims of the crimes don't get shit.
Right.
They need therapy. They need to get themselves right. You know what I'm saying? We got GoFundMe's. We got all this shit. Car washes every time one of the homies die, right?
Right.
But why? Why is that? You know what I'm saying? When you giving millions and trillions of dollars to the prisons and
Law enforcement.
man,
Makes you wonder why. Makes you wonder how funky it is, doesn't it? You know, we all know you can secure a border if you wanted. Our country could. We can afford it, no problem.
Well, they sell
Where is it
everything.
now? We can't stop these drugs. Drugs supply every job you just said. The motherfucker typing in court, the judge, the bailiff, her, this motherfucker help. Every motherfucker in here giving them a job. Like that's what they do.
Right.
We can't get rid of that. Or
And,
we
and
would.
there was facts.
doing
remember,
that.
Remember the crash unit in L.A.
right.
They were their whole job was so they wouldn't lose their jobs, was
Yeah.
to spark back up the gang war in L.A.
Yeah.
between the Crips and the
Well,
Bloods after the peace treaty, right?
So you already a
Like,
victim growing up here
so
in California.
right.
So,
So I mean, their whole job, it's all about money. Whenever you see some corruption, whenever you see some crime in politics or in policing, it all goes back to money. It's all about the bag. So
Never.
anytime you see a situation, dude, you follow the money, and when you follow the money, that's where you're gonna get the answer.
Just like
That's
the,
where you're gonna.
the military-industrial complex. If there ain't no
That part.
wars,
Right.
and
They
how
should
they
go
how
broke.
the military contractors and all these companies gonna make
Bro.
money?
Right.
How they gonna extract government funds?
we
If
like
the-
which is
literally,
taxpayers'
we literally
money,
benefit
how they
the
gonna do all
military,
that? You know,
the people's is
the
they-
vicious cycle, and it's applied in different types of
If
things.
there wasn't no money, there would be no wars. If
Yeah.
there wasn't money in war, there wouldn't. Because who the fuck's gonna spend all their money just to fight?
yeah,
There
but
would be peace
it always
throughout the
buckles down
world.
to feeding
It's
the
on our
military
dollar.
contractors
It's on the
for
taxpayer.
some weird reason. And these are the people
Right.
that are charging $4,000 for a 4-cent gasket. This is what we do. This is what they do. This is what we do.
Right.
Don't know why. And then they all awkwardly live near the what's it called in Virginia, the Pentagon, whatever the fuck is over there, whatever. Awkwardly, that's where all the military, the contract peoples live. They all getting all the money. Why? Why we keep giving all these motherfuckers the money to build the tanks, build the da-da-da-da-das? It's
Right.
I don't even want to know. The fact that I don't know, but I know something's up over there, I want to know. Fuck off. I
They
got
do the
life
same
over
thing.
here.
They do
That
the
shit
same
to do
thing
with
with the needles and
Weirdos.
Frisco.
Right.
They saying
Right.
the needles cost hella money and shit, and they cost all this
Don't.
money, and yeah, man,
Yeah, they're
it don't cost that
overcharging.
much, yeah.
Well, look at the
For
$28
the
billion
funding.
that they gave to homeless in California, and nobody knows where it's at.
Hands on
Where did
the-
And
it go?
and
It's
Newsom
crazy
just
what's that.
vetoed the bill that's gonna that was supposed to that was supposed to make them accountable for it and account for the funding. He just vetoed that. Why would you veto a bill
that
that's
pep
gonna
check.
account for the 28
Yeah.
missing
Mhm.
28 billion missing dollars?
I
Like that
read,
doesn't make sense.
I read today that the Iron Dome that protects Israel, every missile that comes from wherever to attack
Right.
Israel from the Iron Dome, one of those missiles that
Those
shoot
bullets?
costs 150 grand.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they
So
said
if
San
they're-
Francisco.
If they're shooting off 30, 50 at a time from attacks from Hezbollah or whoever,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
all
But
that money right there,
but
just
who's
in one
funding it?
attack.
Who's funding it?
we
The
are.
American
Our-
taxpayer.
yeah.
Taxpayer. If you
Taxpayer.
pay any kind of taxes, your tax money is going to fucking fund
Listen,
those
bro.
missiles.
Oh, yeah.
They
From-
said years ago, bro, you don't even got to build jails. They already built what they call cities. And as long as we're paying taxes, something that Jewish people do not want to do, we believe in a fucking white picket fence and buying a home, and we go play the game with everybody, how we play it. You're there already. There, I got you.
Right.
Well, they say
It's
the
kinda it. You're
best
just
form
here,
of
man.
slavery is when the slave doesn't know they're enslaved at
That's what
all.
I'm saying.
Right.
Like, okay, cool. And your Mel Gibson voice would have your face blue. Freedom. You paying for that shit.
Free the
Yeah.
homie tar, man.
You can't even
Retard.
Free
Look, hey,
tar.
bro,
Retard.
you can't be innocent of a crime with
That's
an
Boulevard
attorney,
homie,
and
man.
you paying for that shit. You're paying for the shit. So now we gotta have money.
Yeah, so that's what I went to Washington for.
Got here.
Yeah.
Real.
So no, and that's good. You're fighting
And
the
that's
fight,
right.
man.
Out of here, man.
And in that,
shit
yeah,
let's
and
do this,
yeah.
with that, man, you know what I mean. We'll leave it at
That's
that. But
my
salute
thing.
to you for what you're doing, man.
For
Salute
sure.
to your album, man.
Need that.
That album's dope.
One more thing too, my
Yeah.
bad.
Yes, sir. Take the mic.
When this album drops, bro, don't miss it, bro. I'm telling
Right.
you, man. We got this the VIP pass, bro, and
I still need to hear it. I need to
It's
become
yeah,
part of
fire.
that
It's
VIP
dope.
it's
pass.
fire.
And
That's
shout
the
out to
record
you,
right now?
Buns. Hey, man,
Thank you.
appreciate
Yeah,
everything
no
you
flavor.
do.
Forever.
Yeah.
No
Thank
flavor.
you for all the work.
Appreciate
My
it.
brother, me and him was
Yes, sir.
me and Bundy, we was roommates
But,
at junior
yeah.
college. 47-hour lockdown.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And
It's just
we-
3A module. You feel me?
We
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
all your activism, right?
For
We
sure.
appreciate this dope gear
Both
that you
y'all's
gave us and
activism.
shit. You
Your
know what I mean?
activism, well,
And we appreciate you for being down with us from day one, man.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Likewise.
So we gonna keep rocking together, man.
Hell
You know
yeah.
what I mean? You
Oh,
already
yeah.
know whatever you need from us, you got it. You know what I mean?
I'll be
And,
back here for sure. I love
He'll be
shooting
at the
this shit.
Chico show.
Yeah.
He'll be at the Chico show too, November 2nd.
All right.
Joe
So
Bob's
let us
Comedy
know.
Trap House. Yeah,
Let
Joe
us
Bob's.
know.
What's happening, man?
Pull up. Joe Bob's
Thank you,
Comedy
bro.
Trap House, man.
We don't know what we're doing.
November 2nd, Chico, California, man. Pull up. We're gonna do it
Yes,
live
sir.
again, man.
right.
Get it cracking. Oh, and I got a special guest performance at the end too. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, there he is.
Special guest performance.
Yeah,
We
special
had
guest
this.
performance, man. Yeah.
And we got a lot of stuff in the pipeline. We pushing. What was that thing
Man.
that you said today?
Hey,
dude?
man, if you knew what we had cooking in the kitchen, you'd be in the back peeling potatoes instead of sitting at that table waiting for that free plate. You hear
That's
me?
right.
You know what I mean?
Hey, man, come on over here,
Real
man.
shit.
Come eat with us, man.
And
Let's
with
get
that, man, we out. No Paperwork Podcast, man. Buns, BFD, Joe Bob, J King, Insane. You know how we do it, man. Peace. We appreciate y'all. Much love to everybody who liked and subscribed. Much love to all our listeners.